PC gaming has never been more popular, and the Axion is a great way to get into it. For $400, you can get a computer that can handle most any PC game out there while still being easy to upgrade. At the heart of the Axion is an Intel Pentium G3258. This is not your old school Pentium. On paper, it's an ordinary 3.2 GHz dual-core Haswell processor, but there's one big advantage: the ability to overclock. As you'll see later, even without overclocking, the Pentium is a solid choice, but crank it to 4 GHz or higher and this will give much more expensive CPUs a run for their money. On the graphics side, we've got an MSI R7 250X. For well under $100, this is a solid graphics card with 1GB of GDDR5 memory, along with DVI, HDMI, and a DisplayPort that supports 4K monitors. Don't expect crisis-crushing performance here, but it should easily be able to handle most games on medium at 1080p. For a motherboard, the Axion is using an MSI H81M E34. It supports overclocking our Pentium right out of the box, along with USB 3.0 and 4 SATA ports for hard drives, SSDs, and optical drives. Memory is handled by 8GB of crucial ballistic support. This is a single 1600 MHz module, which is important as it leaves a free slot on the motherboard if you want to upgrade to 16GB of RAM later on. The Axion uses a 1TB Western Digital Blue hard drive. I've used a lot of these in PC builds, and they've always been rock solid. They're decently fast with a 7200 RPM spindle speed, and 1TB should be enough to store plenty of games. For the power supply, we've got a Corsair CX430. Like the WD Blue, the CX430 is one of my favorite parts for budget builds, with 430 watts of capacity and an 80+ bronze certification to make sure the Axion stays reliable and efficient. Tying the build together is the new Fractal Design Core 1100. This brings the same basic layout from the Core 1000, including support for micro ATX motherboards, a front 120mm fan, and a new front fascia. Put all of these parts together and you've got the Axion, but let's see how it performs. Jump into League of Legends and you'll see it's absolutely no problem to run on max settings at 1080p.
Stand together.
It's the same story for Minecraft. The Axion keeps it right up against 120 FPS even with the graphics turned up. Getting into a more demanding title, Shadow of Mordor is playable on medium at 1080p at around 40 frames per second. Move over to Metro Last Light Redux, and here you're getting a solid 49 FPS on medium. Paired with the R7 250X, you don't really have to overclock the Pentium to get solid performance, but having the option can be a big help even for normal day-to-day use. For $400, the Axion is a solid gaming PC that can be easily upgraded later on. Of course, you can customize it with things like a Wi-Fi adapter and optical drive, and I'll have all the links you need in the description of this video. If you enjoyed and want to see more PC builds like this, definitely be sure to subscribe to the channel. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching and I will catch you in the next one.